Welcome to asknehru Angular tutorial series. In this video, I am going to explain about ViewChild and ViewChildren. Guys, actually this is very important topic to manipulate the DOM or child component. This is going to be a lengthy video, guys. So whatever I am going to discuss, I have listed down. I request you to see this. So in this video, I am going to discuss about what is DOM element and what is child components and how to manipulate the DOM with our template referencing and inter-component communications and accessing component specific methods. So these things are going to discuss. And here I'm going to explain a template reference and I'm going to deal with parent DOM element and also the child component, and I am going to access the method or properties and element reference. I mean, what is element ref and also what is query list. Okay, this also I'm going to explain it. And the lifecycle hooks that related with ViewChild and ViewChildren also going to be discussed. Okay, and we have ng on init and also ng after view init. So how, by keeping static true or static false, so the accessing is various, okay, to life cycles. And so I'm going to not only the static elements and also the reactive elements like button, input, also I'm going to explain. Okay, and how to reference some third-party modules. For example, prime-ng module is a third-party UI components. Material Angular, that is also third-party. ng bootstrap is also third-party, and Nebular, Kendo UI. These are all very powerful, guys. Just I have given this prime-ng, this Kendo UI, and this Material Angular and Nebular. So how to deal with them? So with the ViewChild, okay. So that's also going to I'm going to explain, guys. Actually, not only for the beginners, this is also very useful for the advanced developers. Okay, and if you want to become advanced developer with this concept, this is really a powerful video for you. Okay, I request you watch till the end. If you can't continue in between, just make a pause and have some refreshment and come back and watch it. Okay, and before jumping into the code, I request you to subscribe my channel if you haven't subscribed yet. And also, I don't destroy any code. Okay, I don't erase the code. I just push them in my GitHub repository. Therefore, you can take advantage of it. I give the description of this URL in my, I give the link in my descriptions, so you can redirect and take the reference. Okay, that's it, guys. Let me jump into the code base. So we have our VS code already. Angular is running on. Okay, already running on, and the result of this is this. So when I click the sidebar, there are list of routers. Now I'm going to make one more thing. Okay, now because this ViewChild and ViewChildren is generally deal with component and also the child component. Okay, therefore I create two components, parent component, child component. But in my VS code, I have already have child and parent. I'm not going to use it. Rather, I'm going to create one more. Rather, I'm going to create two more components. Okay, the parent component will be teacher component, and child component will be student component. Okay, so I make it so quickly. NGGC teacher. Okay, so it is creating. So before it creates, I request you one thing. Just keep practice, guys. So practicing is very important. If you don't practice, it's very difficult to understand. Unless you practically sit and type your code, it's very difficult for you to deal in a real-time project. Okay, you should not think while you are developing. So beforehand, you should have a hands-on practice. Only then it's possible to deal with your personal project or your professional projects. Okay, guys, successfully we have created one teacher component, and we are going to create ngg C, and student component. Student components created immediately. You see the time taken for creating teacher and students. Why this happens? So whenever we run the application first time, I mean after closing the project and opening the project again, so this happens guys. But once it is created, then it will create automatically. Now I created two different components. Student component will act as the child component and the teacher component will act as the parent component. Okay. Now I give the routing. I do it so fast. Navigation bar. The navigation bar I have some of the routers. I create one more router, and to the teacher I redirect and I say teacher component. That's all. And I take this router reference and go to the routes, and I create one more path. The path is whatever I have copied. Okay, component and teacher component. Okay, the basic setup is ready. Now when I click the sidebar, teacher component has come now. Now I am click this and gone into teacher works. That means teacher component we have redirected. You see. Okay, that's nice. Now let me redirect. Okay, now I have come here. That's fine. Guys, actually here I am going to deal with two different things. One is actually with the children component and also with child element. Now what I do, I make a separator with HR and I take reference of the child component. Okay. So there is a quick fix available if I click and import. So when I import in the teacher components, in the teacher component imports, that student component is imported. Okay. Now let's see. I go here and you see student works. Now initially I deal with parent components elements, and later on I go to students. Okay guys, now there is already a component, that is P component. Now what I do, I deal with this. Okay, here I give one reference. What reference I give? Ash, I would say teacher, that's all. Okay, you can give any name as you like. Okay, but teacher ref I give. Teacher ref. This is actually template reference guys. As I told you already in my slide. Okay, what is template reference variable? This is actually template reference variable guys. When we start with ash and followed by the name of the variable, this is called template reference variable. So it has given the description, you see, provides special properties beyond those of the regular HTML element. This actually object interface it inherits for manipulating the elements. So if you want to manipulate the elements, for example, I want to access the content of it, or I want to change the content of it, this element reference will work for that. Okay, what I do, I take the element reference and go to our TypeScript file. Here we have our class. So in the class, I make a @ViewChild. Okay, in the @ViewChild, I just paste the reference. Okay, whatever reference I have copied it, I have pasted it, and I can give any variable. Let it be teacher reference, but I want to give some different name. Therefore, teacher ref, just I give com. Okay, refers to component, and then the element reference, element ref. So this element ref, when we give, okay, we should update it. So I have updated it, and there is undefined that comes. Okay, because initially the reference value is nothing, I mean the variable value is nothing. Therefore, either we can give undefined here, okay, with exclamatory symbol. Okay, this negates the undefined scenario, or we can give like this undefined. Okay, both are okay. I then what I do, I create ng after view init. Guys, actually this is a lifecycle hook to deal with view child. Okay, as I have given here, there are two lifecycle hooks, ng after view init and ng after view checked. Okay, I create both of them, ng after view init and ng after view checked. Okay guys, two lifecycle hooks. So watch it carefully what happens. This teacher reference com, I take this the reference. Okay, this dot, now the teacher reference com, and this is the native element. See guys, it is throwing error. Don't worry, if it throws error, first of all don't fear, go and read the error. The error says the left hand side of an assignment expressions may not be an optional property access. Okay, so what it's saying, it's not optional, this is actually optional chaining. We say this question mark is an optional chaining. So I remove this optional chaining and I give this exclamatory symbol. This really overrides the non-existence of this one. Okay, so I save it and go and see the result. See guys, the color red is applied. The color red is applied. So you can see guys, actually I have changed the color here. Okay, and if I want to change the background color, okay, see guys, background color I change. So what happens, you see guys, the color is black, the background color is red. So I can make manipulation just by taking the reference of the template. Okay, so programmatically we can give styles. That is one thing. Then if I want to read the value or change the value, for example, that is ultimately text content. Okay, the text content, first of all I want to print the initial text content. I do console log. Here I read the initial content. Okay, and later on I will change it. Okay, now I comment it for time being because I want to show you what is happening here. I just do inspect and make a separate content, but if better if I can keep it side by side. Okay, so I go console. You see guys, in the teacher.component.ts line number 15, teacher works is printed. See, line number 15, teacher works is printed. Okay, this ultimately we have done through template reference. This is one thing guys. Okay, now what I'm going to do here, I want to keep one console. The console is changes are detected. Changes are detected. Let's see what happens. We will observe guys, we will observe the ng after view checked. Why we use this ng after view checked? Whenever in the DOM the user changes, so that changes has to be detected here. So if it is detected, then we can perform some actions based on that. Okay, so for examples, the user doesn't use it for longer period of times and all of a sudden you use it, then we will detect the changes and perform some actions. Okay, in that case we will use this lifecycle hook ng after view checked. Okay, now what I do guys, I want to change the content. Okay, teacher works. Now what I do, teacher works hardly. I just want to change it. Okay, see guys what happens. the changes are detected and teacher works. But here, see guys, the content is also changed. Okay, teacher works hardly. I have changed the content without touching it. Simply using the template reference, guys. Template reference, view child, and also ng after view lifecycle hook. So using all of them, I have changed the content here. Okay, so this is ultimately a hard-coded value, right? And it is also possible through some dynamic value also we can reference. For example, we are using template interpolations, even that value we can print it here. Okay, now this is actually simple view child, guys. The changes are detected. You see, it is changed, therefore the changes are detected. Initial content is different. Initial content is teacher works, but after that we have changed it, therefore changes are detected. Okay, now guys, let's see one more thing. Okay, this is simply with this thing, and this is actually static content. Okay, this static content, guys. Static content. Dynamic content means we can deal sim differently. Okay, how we can give, okay, for example, static elements like input text. Okay, so when I create input text, then I will also create teacher input, that is the reference. And initially we give some placeholder, in the placeholder type here. Okay, that's all. So when I create the teacher works, type here is created. So we are typing something. Okay, now I want to take the reference of it. So for the reference is, the template reference is teacher input. I copy it and go here, and similarly one more view child I create, I paste that reference, and I create one thing teacher. So actually it suggested I have taken it, we not to save the time. So teacher input com element reference, I take this, guys. Okay, I take this and print it here. Let this be here. I just give a gap and print it. But now, since because it is a class property, we have to give this. What does this refers to? This refers to the class. This is belongs to this class, therefore we have to give this. Okay, first of all we have to know what is the initial value. For that I console it. Okay, I console it dot native element dot value. What is the initial value? Initial value is nothing. Okay, you see the teacher.com initial value is nothing. Line number 19, it comes nothing. Okay, line number 19, it is nothing. Only the console value is there, but I want to set some value. Okay, I want to set some value initially. For that, what I do, I take the same teacher. Okay, instead of teacher works, teacher request you to type here. Okay, I save it and go here, guys. See, guys, we have set some value initially. Okay, teacher request you to type here. So we have set the value initially, and the later on we can change it. Okay, guys, so this is how it works. But you see, guys, here for the static element we have given text content, but in the input element it's a dynamic element because it's going to render values. Often it changes the value, therefore it's a dynamic element, I say. So teacher request, we set the initial value. Okay, that's really nice, guys. Okay, now similarly you can do button checkbox also, we can say. So I want to do checkbox because checkbox belongs to boolean value. Okay, therefore I create one more, I separate with the HR tag, input checkbox. Okay, I create everything as I said. Text teacher checkbox. I go here and create one more at ViewChild and give the reference of it and give the name and take that one. Okay, and come here, this dot, this one checked is true. I can initially make it true or false. Okay, initially everything is false, but since I have given the true here, so what will happen here? It is initially checked. You see guys, it is checked. If I want to make it false, initially it is false, so no need to give false. Only the scenario will come to make it true initially. See guys, it is false now. It is unchecked. Okay, so this thing you can deal guys. Okay, I understood. I hope that you understood the importance of it. This is actually view child. Now I move towards view children. Okay, what is view children? So instead of making only one reference, I will do one more thing. I create a for loop guys. I create a for loop. For example, you know for loop, right? I already explained in a video. I give item of items. Okay, not items. I directly give okay, 1 2 3 4, okay, 5 items we will take, and within the 5 items we should give this one, and also we should track the items. That's all. And I give one more paragraph, okay, that will show that one. But I would say instead of p tag I give button tag. Okay, that will be good, so that we can have a better visibility. And let this be because it will print 1 2 3 4, I will make button. Okay, so that it will say button 1 button 2. Okay, simply a static value. Okay, I go to the teacher. I'm waiting for the result. Let it reload. It's reloading. You see guys, button 1 button 2 button 3 button 4 and button 5. This is actually there are 5 items I have done. Okay, now I should create a reference of a template reference. A template reference teacher button. Okay, now I take the teacher button. Now I want to print the value. See, already I have printed, it is visible here, but I want to print the value here in the console. How to do that? I mean, along with that, see, this is a static value, this is a dynamic value. So combining both, I want to print. Okay, in that scenario it will work guys. Actually really I like this feature, this particular feature. Okay, I go here and make a space. Here I don't see view child. I'm not going to give view child, rather view children I take. Okay, view children I take, and I paste the template reference and here I give. But instead of element reference, I do query list. Query list. Okay, this query list is going to hold the template reference. This we have to import it. Okay, so we have imported it. Okay, unnecessarily one query is created. Query list. Okay guys, query list. Now I take the teacher button com refers to component. Okay, what I do guys, I this dot teacher comma dot and for each means it's going to loop on each element. Okay, and I'm going to print it. You see guys, for each, and also the item is the callback function. So this callback function will have the native element, this is the each native element, and the text content, whatever content is there within the button. Okay, I save it and go here. You see guys, I successfully done it. See, button 1, button 2, button 3, button 4 and button 5. is printed successfully. Okay guys, so already you're running so much time, but anyway, I hope you should understand this concept in depth. Okay, see guys, now I click this, but you see the change detection is not happening because there is no change. Okay, now whenever I want to detect the changes, I can give something in the buttons. Okay, this button has something, button is going to do something. Generally the native event is even for the button is click. Okay, so what I give guys, click. Okay, click is the function. Now initially I set some value, we can give any value, but I give click. Okay, that means when I click, some changes are detected that will reflect in the ng after view checked. Let's see whether it works or not, and go here and I click the button. You see guys, the changes are detected. Line number 32, line number 32 is nothing but the after view checked. Within that we have some console. Okay, see guys, any button I click, it is printed. So therefore, so whenever you want to detect the changes or the user make some changes after the content is in a fully initialized, so um, we can perform some actions in the after view checked lifecycle hook. Okay, so what is lifecycle hook? So I have a separate video. I am going to release a separate video on that. So wait till then. But this is simply wonderful, guys, because generally this is in-depth videos to understand the lifecycle hook. In my previous video, the content projection video, so I have explained about two different lifecycle hook. That is ng after content init and ng after content checked. Okay, here we are discussing about ng after view init and ng after view checked. Okay, that's good, guys. Okay, so we have dealt with dynamic content and also static content in our parent. Now we are moving towards component. How this view child is going to deal with child component. So here in our case, so student component is the child component. Here it says child works, student works. Here we have given the reference of it, the selectors app student, so it reflects here. Okay, that's good, guys. Now what I'm going to do in the student component.ts, I'm going to create one function or method, we can say. Okay, method. What method we can give? Say good morning. Okay, say good morning to teacher. Okay, so it has to be meaningful. Okay guys, actually in the parent component, okay, this is the parent component. The child component I have given it. From the parent component, I want to call this one and print in the student itself. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to access it. Any property also we can access it, or we can access the method also. Okay, so I go here to teacher and I make a 2 space and create a view child. So what I'm going to do, guys, I'm not going to make any reference of it. We can also make some reference, but I can take the whole component itself because it's a native component. Therefore, so what is the student component, right? We have imported a student component. The same student component we will give here. Okay, and I take the reference as student. Okay, and the student component, it's undefined initially. Okay, let it be so. Now guys, I take it and go here down in the ng after view init. Okay, this dot student com and say good morning to teacher. Okay guys, I save it. So it is saved successfully. So you guys know what happens in the console. See guys, in the console, so we have accessed successfully student.component.ts line number 13. So we have called, okay, we have called the function which is present in the student component, that is actually the child component, from the parent, that is teacher component. We have successfully called it, okay. So that's really nice, guys. Okay, similarly, if you want to if you want to access a property of the class, I mean the student class or the child class, you say, we can access it. For example, student name, okay, student name, we can give something like Krishna Pandey, yeah, you can say. It automatically generated with codium. Now I would say this dot student name. I know you know the meaning of, I hope you know the meaning of this, right? Okay, let's see now what happens. See guys, hi from student component Krishna Pandey. We are accessing that as well because we are invoking that, we are calling it. Okay, that really nice, guys. And one more thing, guys, in the student I'm going to create one I'm going to how can I handle in different way we can handle. So I can handle one button, okay. This button I can say click. Instead of click, I would say student click. Okay, see guys, student click is printed here. Now view children, how to implement view children here. Okay, so for that I create one more, that is view children, and I take the same, guys, student component as the reference, and student comps, instead of student comps we can say student list, I would say, and let this be camel case. Okay, student list and query list. See, just as we have done for children, we are also doing for this one, that is a query list. Okay, guys, actually I'm covering trying to cover all the topics. See guys, ng after view checked, okay, and also dynamic values and also element query list also I'm covering. Okay, so let me make side by side. And see guys, I'm going to pass some value dynamically. Okay, so in the teacher component, so let this be here, and I'm going to create one more thing, one more for loop. Just as I have done for loop here, I'm going to do one more for loop. Okay, for a student item of, I'm going to pass the same kind of value. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and track student item. That's all. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to pass this through property binding. Okay, the property binding, this one I'm going to pass. Okay, I hope you know how to pass the value, right? I already taught you in the how to pass value from parent to child, okay, with at input decorator. The same input decorator I'm going to use. Okay, I just copy it and go to the student and I create an input decorator. Okay guys, input decorator I create here, and I paste the same value whatever I have given, and this is going to be a string ultimately. So this input I import from Angular core. Again it is throwing error. What is it expecting? The number is not assignable to string. What is number? Okay, okay, the number which is coming from here. Okay, so what can I do instead of this? I make it as number. I don't have any problem. Okay, number, but number cannot initialized with string, therefore let it be here, and let it be 0 initially. Let it be 0 initially. Okay, now this student items I take and I go here in the button. I make an interpolation. This actually text interpolation. I paste that student items. Okay, let's see what happens. I saved it and go here. You see guys, this is the initial value which I set, that is 0. So this particular things rendered from this line number 12 guys, because here I didn't give any 0. I given 0 initially here, therefore this prints. Okay, and later on we are printing 1 2 3 4 and 5. See guys, dynamically we are passing value. Okay, so this is actually the effect of at view children. This is the effect of at view children. Okay guys, I hope you understand. Now I want to do one more thing. What I'm going to do, so I'm passing some value, right? Where I'm passing, so yeah, I want to detect the changes. If I make any changes here, so this changes are detected, has to reflect. Now it is not reflecting. See, I'm clicking, it's not reflecting. So how to make it reflected? For that I go to student here. So unless you give some event emissions, it won't detect. Therefore I give click, because click is the only thing which we often use in button. I give 0 initially. I go here. See guys, when I click this one, it is detected. See, the changes are detected guys. Okay, this is, so based on this we can make some operations in the parent. So whenever we make changes in the student, so the changes are detected, so that we can take advantage of it and perform some operations on that. Okay guys, so I have taught you so how to use view child and view children. Guys, actually you can manipulate many things here. Okay, now I have given some sample these initials. Okay, now I am going to deal with one more thing. As I said before, so whenever we are handling some third-party modules, for example, PrimeNG and Kendo UI and Metal Angular and Nebula, and there are so many UI component guys. These are third-party libraries which we often use it in our parent, because it's not that always we are going to use simple HTML and CSS. We are going to use some other things. So I go to PrimeNG and here I have an input text. So this input text I take because the UI looks nice. Okay, I copy this and go here to my parent. In the parent only, I am going to give this. Okay, I remove this for now. I don't want this. Okay, because now I'm going to I'm going to give some, but rather than, okay, I should import it. Okay, whenever we are using a third-party module, make sure that we are importing in our imports array. Only then it will work guys, otherwise it will work as good as normal HTML element. Okay, now I hope it is there. Yes guys, you see a big input tag. See the difference, this normal HTML, this PrimeNG input. Okay, that's great. Now so this is you can ask a question. So this is also a module. Okay, this is also a component and this is also a module. If you take the module as the reference, it won't work guys. I show you that scenario as well, so that for better understanding. Okay, seems like I'm wasting your time, but I hope You will understand why I give this, because I want to make you understand in depth so that you should not have any doubt later on. Okay, so I directly deal with it. I directly taken the input text module just as I have done for the child component and trying to print it in the ng after view unit. Let's see what happens. Console.log this dot, so the input text com, okay, the input text com and the value of it, or we try to access with the native. It's not actually taking, guys, you see, because it's not a native component. Okay, therefore it is throwing error, so it won't access all. So at least if I want to take the whole reference, the object reference, let's see, is there something? Nothing is there. It says undefined. Line number 38, you see line number 38, it says undefined. Therefore, whenever we deal with the third party module, we should take the reference, template reference of it. Okay, not the whole directive. So I take prime ref because it's a prime ng component. Therefore, I take this one and go here. And as I made a reference, I make the reference, guys. Okay, and made the reference. This should be element reference. Yes, this should be element reference. Now let's see what happens. You see, guys, the native element, the element is printed here, and we take the native element. Okay, dot native element dot value. Okay, dot value. Now you see, guys, it is showing empty value. But if I print, only change detection are there, but I am not able to print the value here. So how to print the value? For that, guys, actually we need to depend on this ng after view checked. There are other ways. We have native event element also. For example, key up is there, input is there. But how to do this with this? With the simple what is the input with the reference, how to print the value. For that, we need to depend on ng after view checked. Okay, so the initial value is empty. Okay, initial value is empty. Let the component load here. If it doesn't load, refresh it. Okay, initially it is empty value, but I make changes. Make changes. You see, guys, make changes. See, both changes or data is also printed, and also we are printing the make changes. Simply with the template reference, we are printing the value. Okay, for time being, I just close it and go here. You see, guys, I click it, I make changes. See, guys, so based on this changes, you can make some operations in the ng after view checked. Okay, this is really powerful, right? You can take advantage of it. Okay, so this is one thing, guys, and one more thing. As per I said, this static true and static false. Okay, static true and static false. Okay, let this be here. Okay, what is static true and static false? See, guys, now I am using ng after view init and ng after view check. These two are especially made for template referencing. Okay, this is especially used for template referencing. But if I want to take the value in the ng on init itself, because we might have some functions in the ng on init, and we want to deal these values in the ng on init itself, that time we need some special features along with ViewChild. So for that, what will I do? First of all, I go to teacher and I see the input. So this is the input, right? Input and prime reference. Okay, I take this one as a reference. I go here. What is the prime reference? In the prime reference, you can take anything, but now I make a comma and make it static true. What this static true will do? First of all, let me remove it and show you, then it will be better. Okay. I create the ng on init. I no need to explain about ng on init. Ng on init is the lifecycle hook, okay, which is invoked after the component started initializing, I mean rendering. Okay, so in that scenario we will keep this. So what I do, guys, so as I have done, okay, no problem, and with console log I print the input com dot native element dot value. Now I'm trying to access in the ng on it itself, line number 25, guys. Remember, line number 25. So line number 25 is undefined, guys. That means I'm not able to access the value of it. See, here it says empty. Here it says undefined. Okay. I make some changes. See, in the ng detected is changed. Okay. Now I set one initial value. Okay, in the ng after view init. Now to explain you better, I want to set some initial value for this. Okay, so that I can explain it better. Initial value is some value. Okay, it doesn't give any value, therefore I mean in my mind I give some value. I didn't explain, right? It is throwing error. Okay, when we try to assign, it's throwing error. So first of all, when error comes, don't fear, guys. Read the error first. If you hover on this, it reads, we can read the error. What is the error? The left hand side of an assignment expression may not be an optional property access. Okay, so we are using optional chaining symbol. That is actually the question mark is an optional chaining operator. So this gives the trouble. It's not a trouble, it works as it defined, because here we have given undefined initially. Therefore it says it may be undefined, therefore it gives the optional chaining. So in order to override it, I'm saying it's going to be the value. The value will exist here for sure. So therefore I give the exclamatory. Okay, this is the exclamatory symbol. Okay, guys. So when I set it, you see, guys, initially I set the value. See, guys, in the line number 43, ng after view checked also it is printed. Okay, that's really nice, guys. But here you see line number 25. Line number 25, what is the line number 25? ng on init. But here it says undefined. So how to overcome this? Okay, so I want to access the value that here that comes with static true. Okay, static true we give. See, guys, it is empty because in the ng after view init, that means the element is fully initialized. I give the value, but no, at least the undefined has gone out. Okay, but if I want to set some value initially here, yes, of course, as I have done earlier. So like this, I just copy it and paste it here. Okay, you see, actually I have given it here, but initially I just I don't give any value. But you see, guys, everywhere the sum value is given. Line number 20, the sum value is set. Okay, sum value is set, but I have here I need to print the value also, right? So that we can see the difference. Okay, see, guys, everywhere it is printed. In the ng on it also it is printed, line number 26, and line number 45, ng after view init also it is printed, and ng after checked is also it's available. Okay, that's the power of static true, guys. When I give static true, it is available in ng on it, ng after view init, and ng after view checked lifecycle hooks. Okay, I don't need to give here. So therefore generally if you see, the developers give static true so that it can be accessed almost in the all life cycle hooks. That's it guys in this video. So thank you for watching this so patiently because I have given in depth guys. Generally it was a real challenging for me to understand the view child. Okay, now I understood it, therefore I just give you. Now I hope you can deal with it, you can manipulate in your own way. Okay, you also do the same coding and later you just try to manipulate in different ways. I hope you enjoyed the lesson. If you have any feedback or comment, I request you to give your comment in the comment box. If you haven't subscribed my channel yet, I request you to subscribe. I also request you to watch other videos of mine or upcoming videos. Thank you guys. I meet you next video. Bye.